Hi, I'm author Mario Herbert, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about the new book, Adrian, at Large. This book is actually divided into 3 short stories. So, for persons that might say, "Well, I am not a big reader, reading isn't really my thing," I want to tell you that it's a very easy book for you to read. It is not a long book in its totality, but even then it is still broken down into 3 potent short stories. So if you wanted to read it in stages, you can actually do that. And each of these stories can be read as its own independent piece, and they work well as independent pieces. They are very engaging as independent pieces, but when you put them together, they tell a chronological tale that has a very satisfying payoff at the end of it. So it works as 3 individual stories, and it also works as a whole book. Now, in terms of these 3 short stories, there's Shaken, there's The Heist, and there's New Clothes. Now, Shaken is the story that is featured upon the cover. So this is kind of the story we have spoken the most about as a result. But I want to say that Shaken is an excellent introduction to Adrian Manning as a character. Who is Adrian? What is it Adrian ultimately wants, and what is Adrian's worst fear? Those are things that are established in Shaken, but they are established along the way of a thrilling ride. From the first page until the last page, Shaken is just a thrill ride of a story that you will not be able to put down once you start reading. Now, the next story is called The Heist, and The Heist is a really good tale for you to see Adrian's ingenuity, his wit, and his intellect at play, because Adrian comes up with a plan to gain popularity, but it doesn't go according to plan, and it ends him up in a very, very bad situation, and he has to devise another plan to rectify what went wrong with the first plan. And the plan that he devises to rectify the first one is even riskier than what he did in the first place. And well, in a nutshell, even when Adrian manages to rectify something that went wrong, it ultimately leads to something else that is equally as disastrous, if not more disastrous, happening as a result. So throughout the entire story, Adrian has to think up on his feet and come up with, how am I going to get out of this one, and then this one, and then this one. So it is a very thrilling but also a very suspenseful tale that is guaranteed to keep you upon the edge of your seats. Now, the third story is called New Clothes, and New Clothes is a good culmination to the book as a whole, because let's just say that throughout the entire book, Adrian's mother is kind of omnipresent. Even when she isn't being seen, you are still getting some of her represented in Adrian's thoughts, his fears. She is ultimately Adrian's worst fear. And well, New Clothes sees Adrian trying to impress this girl that he has a thing for, and doing something very stupid as a result, which I'm sure that all of us can relate to, doing something stupid to impress someone of the opposite sex that we have a thing for. But the stupid thing Adrian does, well, let's just say that it brings him face to face, head to head with his worst fear. And you really get a nice payoff where throughout the entire book there is this fear that Adrian expresses, and let's just say that no clothes really shows you why Adrian fears his mother as much as he does. Let's just leave it there. So there are 3 thrilling tales, and when you start reading, I guarantee you will not be able to put it down. So even if you are not a reader, an avid reader, I can guarantee you that these tales, they are condensed and potent enough that from page 1 right down until the end, you will not want to stop. So all you need to do is start. So you can get your copy of Adrian at Large from Days Bookstore for $15. You can also contact me directly for a direct sale, and there's even a little bonus at the end of it where we give you a little sneak peek of what is coming next. So you have a sneak peek of Adrian at Last, and you can look out for that book next year. But right now it's all about Adrian at Large, and I can't wait to hear your reviews of this book as a whole and of the individual tales, and which tale is your favorite. Adrian at Large.